Hey y'all, welcome to the Jezebel Way Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a Lionsgate portal read for, of course, twins, or if you're interested in Lionsgate energy, come on in. Tomorrow the Lionsgate is fully open, and we've been feeling that energy for days, right? Of course, the Scorpio moon didn't help anything at all, right? But if you've been feeling that purging and that all of that, this is ultra manifestation time, right? So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest right now, and especially tomorrow, is the time to get it done. So usually for twins, this is kind of like major download time, major purging time, major templating, ridding yourself of time, connection, communication, union, or for some of you, separation. So lots of energy flowing around. So let's see what kind of energy you and your other person are in. So I'm going to do DMDF, but however it applies to you out there. Universe, show me the divine feminine. Realization is coming out of the deck for sure. Realization 10, wrapping it up, moving forward. Realization for the feminine, blues and greens, earth, feminine energy, Mother Earth. Also communication. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware. The internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, okay, heart chakra, heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. So as within, so without, as above, so below. So what we're talking about here is becoming, standing in a power, realizing who you are and what your purpose is here in this world. And using those ideas, those feminine ideas of love and nurturing to help you in that position. Internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. So what is your truth in here? Because whatever it is in here, it's going to be reflected in the outer world. As within, so without. The world is in here. Out here is just a reflection of that. So feminines, keep that in mind. If you're being pulled to step into your masculine energy, you know, sometimes we do have to step into our masculine energy in order to, you know, live daily life, right? Sometimes. But this is saying be true to your heart-centered truth. Be true to your feminine energy of love, unconditional love, not doormat love. Unconditional love means I love you no matter what, but it doesn't mean I like what you're doing or that I'm going to tolerate whatever it is you're doing that doesn't resonate with me. The external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. What's your highest expression? How can you best use your gifts? What are you building? What are you working toward? And you're in a waiting room. 10, realization. You've closed it out with the 9. The path forward is the 11. The 10 is about realizing where you want to go. How do you want to do this? Where do you want to take it? And it breaks down to 1, to self. It's self, right? So for the masculine, we have romantic love, and we have getting in alignment with love. Okay, so feminine is standing still, being in her power, doing her mission, sending her unconditional love. But she is not chasing, she's attracting. She's not chasing, she's nurturing, she's receiving. So 12, 3, getting in alignment. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So feminine is in an energy of unconditional love. This is 5D energy. Divine masculine is in an energy of 3D love. Getting in alignment. So basically you've got a heart chakra and you've got a root chakra that are firing off at each other. Masculine is a little bit intimidated about coming toward the feminine. Also, feminines, you may find yourself being in a little bit higher vibration than your counterpart. The frequency of romantic love, not unconditional love, romantic love, which you find in this journey are sometimes two separate things. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole. So this is someone who is asking for validation from the outer world to complete an inner world problem, instead of, with the feminine, working on the inner world and understanding that the outer world is a reflection of that. This is a backwards energy. So if you're finding twins out there that your counterparts sort of like, you're not lining up or you're not clicking up, and you're like the digression is happening with this person, or they're going backwards in a way, it could be because they are expecting validation. And, you know, you're not going to get that kind of validation from your twins sometimes. You have to validate yourself. It's about wholeness within the self. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience of a conscious lover. So this is also talking about how sometimes on this journey, no matter what you do or who you turn to or who you're in relationship with, it's not going to be the same type of connection that you have with your twin, because it's just not. It's not going to be mentally the same. It's not spiritually going to be the same. And there's not going to be that knowing and that being known by the other party. So this is about trying to feel warm and accepted and loved by a karmic that may not be happening. Reflection of a conscious lover, that's what your twin's going to be giving you. Reflection of you, mirroring you. The reflection of a conscious lover is getting you, understanding you, anticipating, being on the same page, being awakened, being conscious of your energy, and not in a matter of through the self, being conscious of you. How do you benefit me, or how does it work with you and me from my own reflection of you, but being conscious of you as a separate energy, right? Knowing you, not how do I know you through my own experience, right? So that's kind of like a whammy right there. That's hard to achieve in everyday life with people. So on that level, it's kind of like, hey, you know what? You've got two areas here that are being affected. Your divine masculine is trying to get in alignment with what does that mean to him or to her. And the feminine is kind of understanding how what they put out, they get back. So why not? Let's work toward breaking through barriers. Let's work toward nurturing and healing, right? Instead of how does it benefit the ego? So you kind of have a classic scenario happening here between the twins, but let's kind of see what we can expect for Lionsgate. Of course, there's going to be a lot of intense energy, I feel. It's already here, right? So expect tomorrow, you know, to be some more intense energy, but it's also like a feeling of excitement building up to something. So you could experience incoming communication. You could be getting rid of something. You could be closing the door on something finally. But what you're manifesting right now is what you're going to be getting back. So you need to make sure you're high vibe, your thoughts are positive. If you're seeing series of one, understand that's your manifestations taking root. So manifest what is good. So let's see what's going on. Show me the divine masculine. Show me the divine feminine. Lots of thought processes about freeing oneself from either self-victimization or the perceived victimization of others because you're not standing in your own power. There may be a lot of internal issues happening with intuition, right now, you're getting massive energy coming in, downloads, all that stuff. Intuition may be off the charts. You may be knowing or feeling or having a feeling that your twin's coming in. Their energy is there and it's coming in. Energy in this respect, the energy is kind of like a precursor to their arrival. So, for example, if you've been feeling like, hey, your twin's coming in or something's going on, the energy that you're experiencing now is like an invitation or a letter that says, hey, I'm coming to your house, or a text message, or however you want to put it, right? So this energy is pre-announcing their arrival. And it looks like there's differences here in what is perceived about moving forward, how much or how little you have, attaching to the idea of lack. So for example, here it looks like there's a strong manifestation and a strong idea on the masculine side here regarding things not turning out as they hope, that there's going to be a level of rejection, that there's not going to be this receptiveness from the feminine. So what they're manifesting is, again, an ego situation, manifesting ego. The feminine here is trying to free herself of the ego, and she's trying to make plans moving forward, getting in alignment with where she wants to go, how she wants to be. Lots of dreams may be happening between the two of you. How do you harness that power? How do you harness that energy? So that's kind of what's going on there. Let's see what the masculine is experiencing. Issues with the karmic are happening. I think there's been a blow up, or there will potentially be a blow up with the karmic. Again, talking here about feeling whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. This is not a conscious lover. And so they're, again, expecting external validation from a love relationship that can never be that, because it's not a spiritual connection. It's not a connection of anything other than the 3D lessons that we're learning. So there's an anticipation about something blowing up here, or having the potential to blow up, and happening fast. Your masculine is over here talking about how they've been beat up in love, how love never works out, because they're expecting that external validation from that partner who is only there to validate a lesson for them. So being beat up in this situation. Enlightenment coming very slowly. Forward movement coming very slowly, because they're not seeing with their spiritual eyes, right? They're kind of not understanding that they can control what's happening out here by controlling what's happening in here. Because out here is a reflection. Instead, they're placing all of their alignment and everything on this external situation to validate their internal world. So they're kind of moving backwards, or they are backwards in their thought process. Let's see what's going on with the feminine. Again, the feminine is in some respects in an avoidance process, not healing, sort of avoiding and shoving feelings down, right? Not exactly dealing with them. Feelings of rejection, or feelings that the masculine may have about getting one up, one over the other, right? You're in this ego fight about tit for tat. And the feminine just wants to walk away from this. She wants her freedom, right? She or he wants to no longer be under the cloud of confusion and reality, issues with reality. Is this real? Again, so I don't know that You know, the feminine is exactly dealing with those feelings. Maybe that's why this card here is here. But there's an idea of avoidance of the connection, avoidance of dealing with the issues that are being mirrored to her or him. Let's see what's going on between the two of you. And you know, if you're feeling it, your twin's feeling it too. It's not a one-way street, right? We just don't get to see the behind the scenes action sometimes, right? We know what synchronicities we're getting, what downloads we're getting, what lessons we're learning, but we're not always physically there to see what's happening on the other side. So it becomes sort of a feeling of isolation that you're not in this together. You know, because you're in separation, it starts to feel like, well, I'm experiencing a lot of weird shit about this person, and but you're not having the connection that they're getting what is specific for them to get, just like you are. That makes it a little difficult. So let's see what's going on between the two of you. But again, remembering that their energy, that you feeling their energy and interpreting their energy is a precursor to their arrival, right? So you're both kind of in decision-making mode. There might be many options. There may be many feelings of resentment or feelings between you and your twin that are kind of illusionary. There's not balance here between the two of you. Thinking a lot about the illusions of the past. This lack of stability, the lack of forward movement, lack of communication. I think somebody here is working on how to communicate in a clear and concise way. How to make the communication with their twin clear and concise. So this also talks about telepathic communication, but it talks about communication between the two of you psychically that's sort of like a lot of that going on, a lot of dreams going on. But this is about also selecting your thoughts. So we're right back up to the manifestation parts of this thing. You're selecting your thoughts, right? Just like you go to the closet and you pick what you're going to wear that day. You've got to be more selective and put more work into the thoughts that you're selecting regarding your twin. If you're wanting something to move, the energy to move and change, are you going to be still in this resentful mode of thinking like, well, you know what, I'm sick of this, you know, piece of crap, you know, sick of this journey. My twin's always doing X, Y, Z. You know, I mean, we all go through it, right? Every single one of us on this kind of journey goes through it. But this is talking about what are you manifesting? What are you exhibiting unconditional love? What are you doing that is supporting forward movement? A lot of us are hanging on to the past, and we're hanging on to past resentments and past behaviors. So we're ready to strike. But we're not manifesting healing, progress, breaking through all of these dysfunctional lessons, learning how to love oneself, be whole, not rely on codependency, whether it's people or addictions. This is what I envision for my twin and I. We're not manifesting that out. We're holding on to resentments, and that's what we're manifesting. And so if you want to see progress or movement, start manifesting the things that you want to see, because it's a reflection in the outer world and in the 3D world of what you want to see happen. So anyway, let's see what the blocks are for your masculine. Masculine is feeling very much in the ego. And I think the feminine is operating a lot out of their solar plexus. So we have incoming communication perhaps happening, coming in out of a time of not communicating. However, I don't think the masculine is really anticipating for that to be a joyous event. I don't think they're anticipating that they will get very much from it. They may think that the feminine isn't receptive to the communication, but they are going to be making communication nevertheless. They don't want to talk about the past, though. They don't want to talk about the heartbreak. So let's see what that's about. They know that they have, the masculine knows that they can take this opportunity if they choose to clear the air. They know that there's something that needs to be cleared up here, and they can take this opportunity if they want to do so, to bring clarity. But for some reason, they're not choosing to. Show me why. Show me the moon first. I think they're worried this might open conversations up about the karmic, that they don't want to talk about defensiveness, burdens, and no forward movement. So I think this is about them not wanting to talk about the karmic. Why is there no forward movement? Why did you block me? Why did you block me? This karmic relationship didn't result in a commitment, right? We have two different ideas here of how the masculine perceives the karmic as in comparison to who the karmic really is. And so your idea here is about the masculine wanting the karmic to be a specific way. The masculine wants the karmic to be more like the twin. The masculine wants the karmic to be commitment material. And the karmic's simply not. The karmic's a party girl. This isn't commitment energy up here. So this is kind of like, she wasn't who I thought she was. He wasn't who I thought he was. That's what they're saying here. We have two different ideas about who and what somebody is regarding the karmic. And the masculine's saying he's not who I thought they were. Because I projected my ego onto them. I wanted them to be a way I wanted them to be. And I refused to see that they weren't that way at all. So they don't want to talk about that, right? So let's see what's going on with the feminine. Feminine doesn't want conflict. This is a lot about rose-colored glasses, right? Making things seem better than what they were, or better than what they are. This is about being present in the moment. What is it today? Not what it was yesterday. Sometimes when our mind plays tricks on us, right? And we often remember things sometimes better than what they were. And when we get down to the nitty gritty, it really wasn't as great as our ego made it up to be, right? So this is about templating for the feminine about what relationships are supposed to look like. But this is also about what is the feminine's role. Is the feminine's role to be the one who, is chasing, who's giving, who's doing? No. Feminine is to receive and to heal and to give unconditional love. The feminine is avoiding reconciling what actually happened in a situation and what they have made something up to be. It's kind of like, you remember a dish a certain way. And in your mind, maybe it's a particular restaurant, right? You're like, God, I wish I could have so-and-so from this place. I remember it was so good. And, maybe as a child you thought that or whatever. And then you actually get a chance to do that. And it's not as good as you remember. It was better as a memory than it was in reality, right? So that's kind of what this is. Accepting the masculine for who that person really is, not who the feminine wants them to be. and not excusing behavior. I've got something rolling around in my head like it's sort of an idea here about giving too much, being too much. Your vibration on that person is what made that person in your head, right? They weren't deep. You made them that way because that's your projection, because you're the deep one, right? And so in your mind, you associate that they're like you, and they may not be like you in that way. So it's kind of like busting through a lot of illusions, and there's a conflict within the mind about the twin. There's a conflict in the mind. The feminine has a lot of hope, right? Always for this connection, it looks like. There's also an idea of being codependent on this bond, on this connection, being codependent on this thing. Being codependent on it for validation of the connection or validation of oneself, validation of the love. Someone's codependent. This is acting in reverse for the both of you as an addiction instead of a gift, a way forward. And that's a lot of the reason why you're hanging on to the past. So, see it as it is. So let's see kind of how the masculine is feeling about the feminine. Excuse me, card on the floor. Contented, a lot of courage. Working, the masculine has the idea that the feminine's overworking or overthinking. Contented. The masculine sees the feminine as, even though the feminine struggles, you know, masculine is not seeing the feminine in that position. So just as the feminine is seeing the connection through rose-colored glasses, and maybe even the masculine is putting the feminine on a pedestal as an unreachable, unattainable goal, something that they could never live up to. So there's a lot of mirroring going on with how your perception of your twin is in your head. The masculine is also saying he feels like the feminine holds this relationship back. The masculine knows that he is holding back, though. Because the feminine won't do what I want and she sets boundaries, she's hindering the progress of this situation. Okay, instead of accepting the responsibility that maybe my approach or maybe the way I'm seeing this is wrong, that's what's hindering. Maybe my behavior is what's hindering. Of course, it's projection. The masculine is saying, though, that he wants to be with the feminine physically. And the feminine is like, wait a minute, Jack. You know, there's some things this isn't just a fast food restaurant over here, okay? So it's kind of like he's blaming the feminine, the masculine, because the feminine won't accept his advances sexually or won't accept the physical manifestation of the relationship, right? Let's see how the masculine is, the feminine's feeling about the masculine. He's a player. He won't change his ways. He won't change his ways. He's a player. He'll always be a player. He's always going to be about instant gratification and self-gratification. He's not progressing. He's not moving. He's not elevating. He's not ascending. Sometimes the energy from the twin says that he is, but sometimes it says that he's not. Or there's no evidence being seen of that, right? So he's a player, self-gratification. He's always going to be a party boy. You know, he's always going to be an outlaw. He's always going to be, a desperado or whatever, right? He does that to avoid taking responsibility or dealing with his emotions in the moment. He hides. He runs. So like I said, there's a lot of barriers here about the manifestations. If you're not manifesting this, it's not ever going to come into union. Manifesting it into a right way. Feminine wants peace and harmony and flow between the two. She also, though, wants talk of commitment and talk of the connection. And, the romance. Wants the romance there. What's the intention? What's the masculine's intention toward the feminine? Okay, forward movement. Let's move past the betrayal. Let's have a new beginning. Okay. All right. Feminine's holding on to the past. Okay, could be. Holding on to past resentment. Let me see. Switch it how you need to. You guys know how this works. Let's see what the feminine's intention is toward the masculine. Transparency. She's wanting to lay everything out on the table. It's so they can move forward and be happy. So there can be a new cycle offered. Transformation. Bringing the relationship into union. She hopes transparency and the progress will bring the relationship into union. Feminine showed up here. That's what she wants. But there's all these dysfunctional things standing in the way. There's always somebody else. There's always a third party. There's always a karmic. There's always an opportunity. The masculine's always giving to the karmic. Right? So anxiety, nasty talking toward the masculine, or just the twin in general. That's what keeps perpetuating the manifestation, the negative. So moving away from that, trying to start all over again, letting the past be in the past, making the decision to come together in union, making apologies. So let's see what the masculine is afraid to tell the feminine. Blocking her out, moving, drastic stuff, blocking out the twin, wish fulfillment. She lives in a fantasy world. He's imbalanced. So there are burdens for each of you here. So he's afraid to tell you that he is imbalanced. Your twin could be suffering from addictive issues. It could be mental health issues. How can I possibly live up to this idea, is what they're saying. You remember how they were putting the feminine on this pedestal, and the feminine is sort of this thing that they can never achieve. They can never live up to. So what's happening is it's a confidence issue. It's a perception issue. It's a connecting to someone in a dysfunctional way. That person has to be elevated in order for you to connect to them some way here. Can't live up to her. Can't live up to this. I'm never going to be the equal, so I'm just going to go do my thing. I'm going to live in karmic cycles. I'm going to feed my addiction and my narratives. Instant gratification. Burdens. With the lover and the commitment and the union. Karmic. Again is here. No more. Broken relationships. Continuously a story of broken relationships. Holding back communication. Nasty communication. Betrayal. Breadcrumbing. Stalling out. So basically, the reason I act this way, Divine Feminine, is because of XYZ. I don't feel like I'm worthy of living up to you. I'm not worthy of you. I'm not worthy of, I haven't earned it. Haven't earned it. I don't know if I can ever earn it. So, okay. So let's see what you can expect over the Lionsgate energy portal from your twin. What can the collective expect from the twin over the Lionsgate portal? What can the collective expect from the twin over the Lionsgate portal? Peace and harmony may be coming in. There may be a relief of this heavy, dense energy. There could possibly, be an offer coming. Feelings of joy and happiness. New beginnings coming for you. Lionsgate portal, we have Leo here. Moving forward. Small things moving forward. And then you've got the Chariot, forward movement. So you can expect this energy, this stingy energy, right, to kind of break a little bit. More stability, more groundedness coming into the relationship. So tell me why. Why can they expect this? What's going to happen that they can expect this? Universe, show me what I can see. Tell me why. Why does it change? What happens that they can expect this? Choosing to look at it in a different way, taking a new leap of faith, becoming new again. Why can they expect this? Laying down lies, illusions, being true to oneself. I mean, let's get real, is what it's saying. Get real. Self-victimization. You're not a victim to this journey. When you are looking at the twin flame journey in such a way that you can't escape it, that, oh, I can't get them out of my head, you're becoming a victim of it. You're victimizing yourself. Because this is made for healing and empowerment. Not for self-victimization, because you are not getting the ego fed. You're not getting the 3D evidence of things. You're not, it's not your way that it's happening. And you can expect communication. Some of you, this will be a cycle that ends separation. For some of you out there, you may be experiencing that your twin flame comes forward with communication, or they come forward with some sort of an offer. So the Lionsgate portal does that. Exactly that. So you could be seeing manifestations coming in as early as September. For some of you, these manifestations may start taking place. Could be Capricorn season. Some of you, it's going to be September, which is right around the corner. So start manifesting now. Your opportunity and the highest potential for that to happen is tomorrow when it's fully open. So start manifesting what you want your twin flame journey to look like instead of what it is or what it's been in the past, or what the resentment that you're holding on to, because that's the only thing you have left of the connection. So start changing that perspective and manifesting in the positivity that you want in your twin flame journey, and see what changes. So that's what I have for you guys for the Lionsgate portal. Good luck tomorrow, and I'll see y'all later.